Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now, because that's embarrassing. Hey, what's up guys? It's Sher and I am Shadowhunters Trash, and this episode is probably my favorite. Like, hands down, my favorite episode. Okay, so I really want to apologize for not posting a review / recap last week. I was just incredibly busy, and the episode kind of made me sad because, like, everybody was, like, hooking up and, like, kissing and stuff, and I just remembered how incredibly single I am, and I got sad. But now I'm back, and I am super happy to talk about this episode because it was good. I just want to give Alec a hug. My poor baby, my fine baby. Like, this poor guy, he is going through it. Okay, so this episode starts out with Clary, and she's having, like, this, like, nightmare / memory thing about Magnus and her mom when she was young, and they're talking about protecting her, and by protecting her, they mean taking away her memories, and when she wakes up and she sees Jace, she's like, oh my god, Jace, I just had the craziest dream, and then she realizes that it's not Jace, it's Simon, so she was kind of, like, hallucinating in a way. I don't know, it was really weird. I don't know if it means anything or not, but that happened. And then when she realized it was Simon, she told him it was like he was like ripping into her brain, and then he was like, whoa, that's totally like Freddy Krueger or whatever. And yeah, so that's basically what happened, and he's telling her, you know, to calm down and stuff, and he's asking her about it, and when she says, you know, I heard the name Magnus, he tells her that the downworlder who kidnapped him in the last episode that he was like kissing, hooking up with, drinking her blood, all that good stuff, that vampire that he was hooking up with also called out the name Magnus Bane. So Clary's like, oh my god, I have to go tell Jace. And so like she runs to Jace's room, and it turns out he's awake and he's working out and he's like shirtless, and I'm like, yes, Jace. Because, of course, he looks amazing without a shirt on. Like, of course this is happening, because this can't be any easier for Clary. So, she walks in on him working out, and she's like, whoa, sorry, and she turns around as he puts on a shirt, and she goes ahead and tells him, you know, I think Magnus Bane is the one who took my memories. And, of course, he's like, Magnus Bane is so powerful, he can overdo the Silent Brothers. If he is the one who took your memories, we have to find him. And find him fast, and all that melodramatic soap opera feeling energy was going on. Isabel comes in and she's like, your mundane is leaving, and Simon has become this melodramatic overdone princess, and he's like, I'm leaving, and if you haven't drank all their Kool-Aid, you're gonna come with me too. And I'm like, dude, her mama is missing. There are angry demons after her, and you really think she about to leave this to the outside world with you? No, honey, that's not how this is going to work. And so he's like really freaking out, and he's like talking about how Jace is his problem, and he goes, come at me, bro, and like it looks like they're about to fight, and he's basically talking about how Jace is just a bully who wants him to do his homework, and he's like got a square jaw, and he's like, he's not a good person. That's basically what he's telling Claire. He's not a good person, you need to come with me. They're obviously bad people, and da 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 da, and she's like, you know I can't leave. I can't leave here. He gets super mad, and he like storms out, and Jace says, I'm not saving his ass a second time, and that pisses off Clary, and she's like, really, Jace? And then she runs after Simon. Again, she's yelling in this episode, Simon! Simon, come back! You know? So she goes and she tries to meet up with Simon, but he leaves. He doesn't give a fuck. He's leaving. He's gone. So he goes off, and she meets back up with the rest of the crew, and she goes ahead and she is telling them, you know, this is what we found out about Magnus and my mom and everybody. Can we please go find him? And they all, you know, agree, kind of. Alec, of course, is still brooding in the corner because he doesn't want to help her at all. He still doesn't like her. And I'm just looking at him like, you are so fine. Can we please talk about Matthew, who plays Alec? He is literally the love of my life. But yeah, okay, so eventually they find Magnus and they set it up where they're gonna do like this like meeting with him. So basically it turns out the Shadowhunters have something of Magnus, and it's actually a necklace that he gave to his lost love way back in the day, like centuries ago. And Isabel decides to wear it as they go to the party. So they're like, you give us Clary's memories back, we'll give you back the necklace. So Izzy ends up giving it back to Jace and Clary, who actually are the ones who are going to go in and meet him at this Downworlder party. And of course, he's going to go to a party. Even though he's in hiding, he's still going to go to a party because he likes to have fun, and I respect that. Magnus Bane is actually in hiding with all of his warlocks. We actually saw that in either last week's episode or the week before that. I honestly don't remember. And he's got all of his buds there, all of his, you know, warlocks and witches there with him, and he's protecting them. You know, it's obvious that they're like a family, and he's taking care of them. And he actually was talking to one of his like friends with like horns in his head. He was talking about how he had to keep them protected so they couldn't go to the party, and he was gonna go and he was gonna save the day, essentially. So when they finally meet at this party, he goes ahead and he tells them, you know, thank you for the necklace, but I don't have her memories anymore. I fed them to a memory demon. Because of course a memory demon exists. What? How? I'm really sitting here and I'm contemplating how there's a memory demon. You can literally give your memories to a demon. I don't understand how the hell it makes sense, but it does. And when he leaves the party because the secret circle members have found them, he goes ahead and he leaves the party. But when he gets there, it turns out they had already been at his hideout and they had killed some of his warlocks. And Magnus ends up leaving the party and everyone kind of is upset, but they actually have a button from like his coat, and it's something that he owned, so they can track him. So they take the button and Jace puts it in his hand and he's like, and he's like supposedly tracking him, but he can't track him because it's not strong enough. His power isn't strong enough. So Alec joins him and they like grab hands and they're like looking deep into each other's eyes and they're like tracking him. And I'm like, this is the gayest thing I have seen all week. And like, it was just the way they were like looking at each other. There was like so much like intimacy in it, and I was like I kind of felt like I shouldn't be watching. Like I was like, this isn't not for me. This is their private moment. Even though they were tracking someone, it was very intimate, and I was like down for it. I was like, kiss, you guys need to kiss right now. Do it. I was like super into it. I was like, if they don't kiss right now, I'm gonna throw myself off a bridge. Like, I was so into it. So they figure out where Magnus is and they meet him at like his place, even though they don't know that he's coming, and they see that some people have been killed. And Clary actually runs into a little girl who finds her father unconscious on the floor, most likely dead, and she was shaking him and she was like, Daddy, get up, Daddy, get up. And Shadowhunter, one of the bad Shadowhunters, is about to like decapitate her. They're like about to cut off her head, and Clary jumps out of nowhere, BAM! And she's like got her little like glow-in-the-dark sword in her hand, and she is basically trying to save this little girl because she doesn't want the little girl to get hurt, of course. And you know, they do it, and Jace ends up like hitting him with like a knife from like way up there. He was like, boo! And he like hit him with it or whatever. And that was cool. That was really cool. And he winked at Clary, and I was like, yes, boo, I see you. I see you. As the episode moves on, Magnus actually gives the necklace back to Isabel because Isabel was totally like in love with it, and she's like, doesn't it look so good on me? And I'm like, yes, Isabel, it does, because she is so gorgeous, and it did look really good on her. And they all decide, Magnus included, that they are going to summon the demon that has Clary's memories. And so Clary has to draw like the weird looking star thing to like bring them together. And then what they have to do to actually bring the demon in but not let him out is hold hands. And every time they like touch hands, Alec holds Jace's hand, and like they like lock together. And the same happens with everyone else. And Isabel is noticing that the way they're like looking at each other, everyone is like giving each other like these like sexy eyes or whatever, or like these like in love eyes. And she's like, you guys are pathetic. And girl, I was like, you right, they are. I would be too if I was in that situation. Oh, and the whole time Alec and Magnus meet for the first time, and Magnus is like totally like, this kid is hot as fuck. He's literally like he's so into him. Like when he killed one of the bad Shadowhunters, he was like, who are you? Like, I want a piece of you. I want you. And then he was talking about how he was talking about how he was like how he slept with Michelangelo, and he was like, he was great in bed. And then he looks over at Alec, and then Jace sees him looking at Alec, and Jace like throws his head over and he looks at Alec, and Alex is just like, dude, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And I was just cracking up. Like, he is dropping these hints that he probably thinks are subtle, but they're totally not. And then he ends up asking Isabel, is he a flower crown kind of man? As in, does he like boys? And Isabel is just like smiling and laughing because she knows that Alec likes Jace. She knows it. She's very well aware of it. And I think she knows that it's not going to work out for her brother, but she's not going to say that to him. Okay, so anyway, back to the plot. While they're all holding hands, they have to give the demon their most precious memory with like their most precious person. And Isabel ends up giving up one with her big brother because that's the person that she loves most in the world. Clary gives off a picture of her mother because that's the person she loves most in the world. Once it's Alec's turn, he gives off a photo, like this picture, this memory of Jace, and that's the person he loves most in the world. And it's now official that he is in love with Jace. And he ends up saying, no, the demon has deceived me, and he wants to instantly break free. And he ends up ripping his hands apart from them, and the demon is almost set loose. If you follow me on Tumblr, you saw like all of the Shadowhunters posts that I made and I reblogged, and as many jokes as I made about that scene, that's actually a very serious thing in the LGBT+ community. When it comes to coming out, it's so difficult, especially if you're kind of in that self-hating, self-loathing, and you haven't come to terms with your sexuality and who you are. So even though that was completely and totally unrational of Alec to do that, but everyone just found out that the person he loves most in the world is his best friend, who's also male. And it scared him, and there was so much fear there. It was scary for him. And I have personally been out since like I was 9, so I kind of forgot that fear. And as much fun as I made of him, that's actually a very serious thing that happens to a lot of people once you're found out and you're not even really sure of who you are yet. It's very scary, and there's so much fear, especially if you haven't come to terms with it in yourself. So honestly, if you think anything badly of Alec for acting the way he did, I really hope you reevaluate that, because that is a very serious issue, and it's super scary, and it's horrifying. It's not fun. So the demon has basically been let out, and it grabs at Jace, and it's like eating him or something. I couldn't really tell, but Clary ends up saving the day because she stabs it with her glow-in-the-dark sword, and she's like that, and the demon dies. But along with that, her memories died with him, which means she'll never get them back, and she'll never find out where the cup is. And That's sad. And Jace is unconscious, and they ask Magnus, you know, is he gonna be okay? And he goes, I don't know. Does he usually lay unconscious on the floor like that? Because of course, that's what Magnus does. Wild. In the end, he ended up waking up. Of course, Jace woke up, and he was thanking Clary and everybody, and they're like, yay, he's alive. And then it shoots back to Alec, who had run away from the scene, and Magnus comes up to him and he says, there's nothing to be ashamed of, you know? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And that's kind of where it left off, and it was really sad. I really just want to give my baby a hug. Oh, and along the way, when Simon left the house, I'm pretty sure he's a vampire. I'm pretty sure he's a vampire because Maureen came into his room and she cut her finger and he like licked the blood and he was all like, tasty. Like, that was basically what it is. I'm not even going to talk about it. He's a vampire. He's got to be. Like, I mean, he did lick the blood. Oh! And at the end of the episode, he went to go find Camille. He went to go find her, the girl that bit him. Oh my god. Oh my god. He went to go find her. Crazy ass nigga. Okay, I'm gonna go now. So I have no idea where that's gonna take us, where that's gonna lead us. I'm really excited for next week's episode. Like, I literally can't even like contain myself. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. You can like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. There's no pressure. Leave a comment below though so we can have a conversation, because this episode really messed me up, but I loved it. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!